Is the answer to fighting crime in Wilmington getting rid of the city police department? At least one councilman thinks so. This is the Delaware Way. Welcome to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. Crime in Wilmington has been issue number one in this area for a long, long time. Now there is a serious proposal to combine the Newcastle County Police Force and the Wilmington Police Force into one, much like they did in Camden County, New Jersey. A proponent of this idea is with us now, Wilmington City Council member Michael A. Brown, Sr. You've been talking about this for quite some time.
I certainly have, and thank you, first of all, for inviting me to be on the show. But this issue is not an issue that just came up overnight. I've been on council now going on 12 years, and I've looked at this issue very hard, and I've been talking about this since the past administration, previous administration, Jim Baker's administration. I wrote a letter back in, I think, 07, asking the mayor and at the time, the county council person, executive, to look at the feasibility of doing a study for Metropolitan Police, and never got any real feedback from it. And I kept mentioning it over the years. When I get in front of council floor and I have the mic in front of me, I put it out there so the constituents and the citizens of the city will know that this is an issue that could probably be looked at to help resolve some of the problems of crime. And
now the Chief Justice of the Delaware Supreme Court said it's a good idea, and everybody's covering it now, and it's back on the table.
I tell you, Larry, it's amazing, but I'm okay with it because I've never been one of these folks to say it came from me. As long as we can be getting some attention to this now. And I think, listen, he didn't come up overnight and say this, in my opinion. I think that this was a discussion somewhere in a room or in a conversation that others, powers to be, had this conversation, and that he took it upon himself, because of his ability to do such, to come out and be in supportive of it.
When they did a similar thing with Camden, which had a similar problem, it was #1 per capita, the most dangerous city in America, Camden. It no longer is.
That's right.
But it no longer is doesn't mean Camden's any safer. It means that they're not reporting their statistics the same way because Camden County took over. Is that what you see as the remedy here?
No, I don't think that we need to, if it's going to be done, it needs to be done the right way. We need to make sure, see, in Camden in 2011, I believe it was, 2011, they had a big issue with the unions and all that, the big fight. Nobody really wants, nobody.
You won't have that here?
You will, but listen, it's about giving up, who's going to give up the power? You know, nobody wants to give up power. Somebody has to take the back seat of having a Metropolitan Police. And while they're fighting to do that, Larry, while they're fighting to do that, it upsets me very much to know that we're putting our own personal agenda above the people that we're sworn to protect and serve, and to do the right thing by as legislators.
So let's talk about the mechanics. Well, look, you know what? Before we talk about the mechanics, because that's issue number 2, talk about the benefits of this. Why is it a good idea?
Well, it's a good idea because Wilmington Police Department has over 300 plus police officers. The county has close to 400 police officers. You combine both police officers and allow them to divide their divisions and patrol in homicide and other divisions, narcotics, vice squad. Listen, they started this, let me tell you something, this administration, the Williams administration and Executive Tom Gordon, they came into Wilmington and they swore in 100 police officers apiece from their departments. And they swore them in saying that now they have the right to go, they're going to swear in the whole police departments that they have the right to go into each other's jurisdiction. Listen, we've always had the right to go in each other's jurisdiction. Number one, we're Newcastle County. We're part of Newcastle County. Well, if that's the
case, why combine the departments?
Well, listen, because it needs to be done in a way where such that everybody benefits from it. Newcastle County payroll and their officers are higher paying salary in some degree, and Wilmington police officers are the lowest paid out of the two officers, out of the two departments, are the lowest paid departments.
But the paychecks don't help crime in the streets.
Well, it's an invite to the table. It gets the union to the table. I'm trying to tell you how they're going to get people to the table to talk about these things.
In Camden, they just disbanded the Camden County Police Department.
Well,
they just got rid of it and then said you can reapply to the Camden County Police Department.
Well, Camden had all kinds of problems, Larry.
You have all kinds of problems here.
We got some problems.
I don't know if you've Googled Wilmington recently, but you got some problems.
I live in it. We got problems, but these problems are problems that can be solved very, very methodically and very, very surreal if we put people to the table who have one agenda. It's not going to get done if everybody's got their own personal agenda. See, we got to move past everybody's personal agenda and who's afraid to lose power.
So let's talk about how you do it. Then you tell me how it will work, because you have two powerful unions. You have a lot of people who are going to be upset, wondering about their pensions, wondering about their salaries, and you have the other issue that you talked about, who would be in charge at that point.
Well, you see how you do it. Well, first of all, you get the mayor of the city and you get the county exec to first say they're on board with at least coming to the table for the discussion. Then secondly, I think you get the two chiefs of police from both departments to come on board with their leaders and say that we're all ears for it. By the way, when I made this letter, I made this request under the Williams and Tom Gordon's administration. Tom Gordon said in the paper he's all ears for it. He would like to listen to see where this goes. So it got his attention. So now when you get those two groups together, you bring in the unions. You bring in the unions and find out what it could cost, who has to give up something within the unions, what they want to make sure that this happens. It's not going to happen unless the union says it's going to happen, first of all. And
it doesn't sound like something that could happen quickly either.
No, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's already started, Larry. I'm telling you, they swore in 100 police officers apiece in city council chambers, and it was my understanding that someone called from down in Dover and said, hey, you guys better stop this because you're heading down Metropolitan Lane. You're heading down, they already swore in 100 police officers.
So you have Chief Bobby Cummings, you have Colonel Setting in the Newcastle County.
Both fine gentlemen.
And one has to be in charge.
One has to be in charge.
It's not up to you to decide.
It's not up to me. I wouldn't make that decision.
And then you have lieutenants and captains, and you have people
majors,
of rank,
inspectors,
and they would all keep their rank under your proposal. Or are you saying that's not for you to decide?
Oh, no, that's not for me to decide. But I would think that they would want. I think they could keep their rank.
But that's the I mean, here somebody. So this is what you're saying has.
And
to
as
be
people
out.
retire, you don't fill the ranks. You don't fill back that higher position, the captain and above, because at this point, I don't know how many captains. I think you got about 6 or 7 captains in the county, and you have about 7 captains in the city. You have 2 inspectors in the county I know of, and you have 2 inspectors, what they call them majors, but you have 2 inspectors in the city. So when the city of Wilmington used to have,
it sounds like it's both still separate.
City of Wilmington used to have 4 inspectors anyway. They didn't have captains like this. They had 4 inspectors, and so yes, they will be top heavy in the beginning, but as they retire, those higher echelons retire, you don't fill the positions.
I got it. Now, real quick, because we ran out of time, as you sit here today, is this going to happen, you think?
Might not be in my time because I'm leaving in 2 years. But
enjoy retirement.
But I think it will.
I appreciate you being in
Thank
here.
you.
Wilmington City Council member Michael A. Brown, Sr. When we come back, one of the gentlemen we just talked about, Colonel Setting, the leader of the Newcastle County Police, will be here, and I don't think he likes the idea.
Well,
when we come back.